Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 1, Under Locks and Keys. Apologies for the late start, but we are here now, and let's dive back in. When we last left off, the party took some downtime. Greylog oversaw construction of the Hella Good Tavern, built in honor of Lady Hella of Death, and hopefully his ticket to getting out of the newest of his many magical deaths. Paul, with a new mission to save his father, is protecting the druid who promises that given time and training, he can resurrect the dead. Avaben, forced to bring along his loved ones from home, who insist on accompanying him during this next adventure, despite the potential dangers being posed. And after corresponding with this mysterious merchant identifying himself as Klevak the Ever-Prepared, Asari and Anna managed to negotiate the handover of the next key. However, disaster has struck. A ship flying currently unknown colors struck down the merchant and marooned him on an island. Although he is in still possession of the mask, he refuses to part with it or return to civilization until being alleviated of a predator on the island that stalks his every move, fearing the consequences to others should he return to civilization with this monster stalking him. You all need to somehow get a journey ready to Suicide Hollow, an island off the Adamic coast that is supposedly so haunted and so dangerous that no sailor worth his superstitious salt will sail anywhere near it, let alone chart a course to it. Anna seems reluctant to say that the crew of the Breaker would be willing to sail there even for you, but you all have high hopes and make your way to the docks to negotiate the potential new course being charted. With that, we return to Tortage. As you all make your way out of the laboratory and begin making your way to the docks, you see that, surprisingly, while normally they dock a little bit further out, the crew of the Breaker is already here. However, you see that there's a bit of a scene happening, albeit, thankfully, Paul, a bloodless one. You see that Sasha, the first mate and acting captain of the Breaker, is currently seemingly in a heated argument with someone that you can't really clearly see. Although judging from the elaborate feathered hat, they appear to be someone of high wealth, potentially a merchant of some kind. The crew is gathered around with arms crossed and seem rather annoyed and uncertain. You're all at the top of the dock stairway overlooking all of this, and they're just kind of arguing with each other on the docks with the crew gathered around. Your various companions are on the Breaker, looking down over the railing at what's happening, as more and more of the dock workers and sailors draw their attention to this argument happening. What would you all like to do?
Maybe I'd like to see what all the commotion's about.
Paul?
I guess I will join the vape and see what's going on before probably intervening.
All right. Sorry?
As always, I'm with my boys, as always.
Okay. The three of you make your way down the stairs and towards the scene. You see, as mentioned, First Mate and Acting Captain Sasha Reznov is, at this moment, not saying anything, although you catch them mumbling a few things that you can't hear as you make your way closer to the scene. And as you step on the docks, that gets the attention of both the crew and this mysterious figure that your crew is in heated argument with. As he turns, you all take in the figure you're looking at. Appears to be human, although given their incredibly fair complexion and somewhat hidden features, it's difficult to say that for certain. You detect there may be a hint of elvish heritage. Wearing a powdered wig that covers the ears, making it impossible to identify if they're elvish for certain. Wearing a broad feathered cap, as mentioned, and a very fine, colorful merchant's jacket. Dressed to the nines, very much so. And as all of you step forward, they gesture to your group with a very visible disdain and speak loudly, almost addressing the crew, even though nobody seems to be really listening to them. And see, these people right here are exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. You all think you can just come in and out of here without consulting me. I am the mayor of this town. I may not have the authority I'd wish, but you still have to pay some degree of respect to use my docks. You have yet to tell me the nature of these various voyages you're launching, nor have I received any payment for treasures gained. If you're going out there and securing something, I want to know about it. Is that so much to ask?
I'm trying to figure if Asari
I got
cares
something
or-
Vaven's gonna say.
Go for it.
Well, you wouldn't happen to be from Britannia, are you? Because that's meddling in other people's business is their specialty.
Sorry,
Oh, no,
Asari very visibly narrows her eyes.
Oh no, my friend. I am no Britannian. He
Certainly
holds
act
out.
like one. And I
I'm
don't
going to
much like
choose to
them.
pretend you didn't say that. He holds out a hand to you, although you notice he has a handkerchief tied around the palm to not directly touch you if you choose to shake his hand.
Vaven's
my
God.
not
Jim,
going to do so.
Acting mayor of Tortage.
See, that's where the problem is. You're acting mayor. You're not actually the mayor. So, I don't really care about you or your desires.
Well, is that so? That is rather unfortunate then, because until I see some form of payment for these various voyages being launched without my consent, or get further information about the exact nature of said voyages, I'm afraid I can't let you leave, and that's the end of it.
Or we could
It's
just
rather
leave.
bold of you to come up to a bunch of shall we say, rough figures and tell them what to do.
I mean, we could just leave
Are you
and
afraid
then throw you
you're
in the
not
water.
worried that you're not going to leave this place?
My friend, someone as wealthy as connected as I has nothing to fear from the likes of you. You, however, have much to fear from the likes of me.
You
How
sure
much,
you don't have some Britannian blood in you?
how much are we talking?
I am
here?
positive.
I
You,
swear to God. Ivor Ben, you keep saying that shit, I will stab you.
you, big
What?
fellow in the suit.
What,
Speak
saying
your
what
piece.
they do?
Merely asking the price that you seem to ask us to leave.
I'm aware that you have gone on quite a few voyages, some of them for quite extended periods of time as of recent. And despite the laws I've made quite clear for allowing you, shall we say, rougher sailors use of my docks, I have yet to see even a copper piece of any treasure. So tell me, are these simply pleasure cruises? Or are you hiding some treasure of great and immeasurable value from your very kind and benevolent mayor?
Oh,
Other than-
yeah,
let's
you
see,
know.
Matthew.
What's up?
Other than like items, I believe other than like the items, there hasn't actually been any treasure brought back, has there?
Not from your trips. Not really. You guys tend to pass up on a lot of the magic items that are put in front of you.
Don't end up get a whole lot of treasure, but well, I mean, would it not matter what treasures we find? Is merely you're asking us to pay our way for ports?
Something to the tune of that. So, how nice to see a fellow that speaks in a civilized tongue.
Well, again, you
And
yet you've yet to give us a price on this, the use of the docks.
I think a 10 gold berthing fee is more than generous. Wait, really?
Yeah. And I will hand him. He kind of thinks about how many times we've left and come back, and he'll pull out 20 platinum.
What? You're serious?
I mean, you are the acting mayor, and this should pay for at least definitely the trips that we've taken so far. Maybe some few more if you're willing.
You can see he's stunned. And Sasha kind of gives a smirk, and you hear the swabby of the breaker pipe up from the docks. For the first time in his life, he's at a loss for words.
almost makes you wonder who actually has more money here. If that little was enough to surprise him.
What exactly is the nature of these trips you're taking that you can simply throw this kind of money around?
I mean, I don't recall that being a part of the deal. You got
Well-
paid, so leave.
Frankly, I normally don't actually get a whole lot of money. Just a recent trip to a family estate, I guess you could say.
An estate?
You wouldn't know where of the place, so but it's not really something you would really know about. But either way, I did happen to come across some money, so hopefully this will pay for what you've asked. That you've stated 10 gold for trip.
That is, in fact, what I said. Yes. He seems really stunned that you just accepted the offer so quickly.
Not only that, he upped the ante by literally like. Hold on, let's see.
I mean,
Yeah, technically you only needed to pay him 4 times total, so 4 platinum would have done it. You paid him more than double what he was asking.
I knew it paid more. I was just kind of like, oh, hey, for like maybe possible future.
No. Absolutely. I ask you, out of a fellow adventurer's curiosity, what is it you're after exactly that you're so willing and eager to fritter away your coin?
Hey, I think considering what you asked for, I think he paid enough to not be asked questions.
I ask him questions not as a superior of high wealth and standing, but as a fellow explorer, seer of sights.
I understand. Sadly, it seems as though this type of information is my colleagues would like to prefer to keep it secret. It seems so.
Secret mission it is. Well, he slides the coin into his shirt pocket, and I suppose you have given me what I requested. He hesitates for a moment before. But if you ever find yourself in need of aid or sagely advice, you know where to find me.
I will keep you in consideration.
He kind of glances to Vaven with disdain as well as Asari before kind of awkwardly stepping past them and scurrying his way to the opposite end of the docks and
As
back
he
up the
starts
stairs.
walking away, Vaven's just gonna say like offhandedly, Honestly, I was about ready to stick it to him if he tried to ask for more.
Would not be good idea. Man carries influence.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, well, unfortunately, you can't bring that with you, can you? If you know what I mean.
Can't bring with you, but can bring others down with you.
Yeah, you can technically can bring some influence if they bring the right people, but
Apologies for scene creating.
well, it's no problem. But from what I've heard, we have a much more bigger ask than what he's been asking.
Yeah, so...
Ah, come on, what? Come on, we're all friends here. What could you guys possibly want from us? That's
what
more
was
than
place
that
called
piece of
again,
shit.
Matthew?
Suicide Hollow.
How close to a place called Suicide Hollow are you willing to get?
The faces of all sailors on the crew immediately pale. Although you notice your land-loving compatriots who were just along for the ride don't seem phased. Uh, um, the sailors are silent. Oh, go
Oh
on.
shit. No, you keep going. I just thought of a meme I'm gonna send in chat.
Go for it. But yeah. After a tense silence, Sasha, normally fairly soft-spoken at the best of times, speaks very lowly and plainly. Nowhere near.
Define near.
If we can see it on the horizon, or if that is where the course be charted, we do not sail. End of story.
Well, that happens to be where the next item that you're helping us get is.
You're
Oh, well,
kidding.
Wait, what did he say?
The Swabby piped up. You're kidding.
Yeah, well, it's not where it originally was, apparently. A merchant has it, and he got attacked by rogue pirates or something, not flying any colors. And
Yeah,
he wound up there.
we wish we were kidding.
I mean, I know we can get close if need be, but without the aid of the ship, but preferably I guess it'd be better to have y'all with us, but I understand if y'all can't, or if y'all aren't willing.
It's a dangerous trip. No sailor who goes returns. The spirits of that island intend to keep it, along with all of its treasure. Little Daft Punky, sorry.
Just quiet.
Sorry. Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Better, yes.
She said, there's a best time for everything.
Sasha kind of squints, seeming a little suspicious of that assertion. If your friend washed up on Suicide Hollow, he's already dead.
Well, he sent a letter saying he wasn't.
Can ghosts write letters?
I don't think so.
I think it would be very difficult for them to do so.
Yeah, I
First
mean,
time for
imagine.
everything.
Sorry, it kind of gives a chuckle.
I mean, letter or not, there's an item there we need, and also if we can aid our assistance towards him, then I see no reason we can't at least try. But
Oh yeah, by the way, this is their face whenever we mention where we're going.
Kinda, yeah.
but
Avaben, your friend the cook, speaks up. Lads, we're all friends here and would love to lend you a hand, but we have families, futures, continued heartbeats and lives to look forward to. And we aren't sailing anywhere near that hollow.
I've got family too. I've got a mum and,
And they'll be sure to miss you when you're gone.
Well, yes, we
I'm in
all-
the unfortunate circumstance of some of mine are insisting on coming with me.
Yep. And unlike you, Scaredy Pants, we're not afraid.
well,
You do not know the stories. You are not sailors. You are not people of the sea. Your forests are safe. The seas are not. We do not sail. If you take ship, you take it alone.
I mean, like, couldn't you just, like, get us close enough that we could take the boats the rest of the way? And then you can leave, and then come back, and, like, I don't know, come back in, like, a week and see if we're waiting for you. If not, you can declare us dead or whatever you wish to do.
Avaben, roll persuasion.
Okay, hold on. Alt tab. Please don't crash. Okay, good. Persuasion. He's terrible at charisma, in case you haven't noticed.
Yes.
yeah, that's especially with his personality,
and at the point of the persuasion check.
Well, I got a 19.
The crew all looks to Sasha for guidance. The massive man crosses his arms and sighs for. Take you near, no closer. When island is visible on horizon, we stop. We drop anchor, you go, we stay. Mate, it's in the name. This is suicide. None of us are coming back from this if we go. We have job to do. They die, we do not get paid. Fail to get keys, we do not get paid. Captain's right. We've invested too much to back out now.
Are there any other things that got labeled like suicide, something that Avaben knows of, that maybe the reputation was found to be overblown?
Roll history?
I know it's a rather
Yeah, it's a bit of a
vague-
stretch. Yeah.
But like, I'm sure there's, even in our setting, which is very mystical, there's bound to be examples.
No,
of
yeah,
it.
it's more just I'm having to determine which ones you've heard of.
Wait, what role am I making?
History.
Okay. Avaben is also not very good at intelligence things. Well, he's technically +0 in those
Yeah.
things, so he's like
Yeah, so
average.
he's just average. Yeah.
I mean,
Average.
too bad there's
intelligence.
not a literal archaeologist who might know shit, though.
well,
Well, I'm sorry. Is that archaeologist asking these questions?
Well, maybe.
History?
Hang on, I'm rolling it. 14.
You've heard just, your typical thing, adventure quests. Oh, there's no one ever comes back. But I will say it's less that the reputation is overblown and more you have to be quite powerful to overcome what are supposedly suicidal odds. It's not, you've never necessarily heard a story of, oh, we went there and it was the land of milk and honey, not the scary place. It was just we were scarier than the scary place was.
Hang on, I just had an idea. Is it like, doesn't the Underdark kind of have that reputation?
Generally, but I will say you live there and are adapted to it. It may not mean a whole lot coming from you.
Well, I mean, it might be worth a shot, you know?
No, I'm more just noting that, like, so that you're not surprised if it doesn't really do anything. Go ahead.
To be fair, many people said the same thing about the Underdark, and yet, people are able to meet things like me.
You see how the crew all glances to the cook, who just takes a long swig of whiskey beneath his missing eye. Well, I'm convinced.
He's like, the point is, everybody says this about places they don't really know very well. Until one day you do know it.
We will take you to the horizon. You row from there. No closer.
Honestly, just getting close to it will probably be a big accomplishment.
When do we make sail?
As soon as you're ready.
Yeah, as soon as you're ready to go. I want to get this over with.
How's the weather there?
Weather's beautiful. Is good place to die.
Yeah. Maybe like other adventurers that have gone to these kinds of places will be the ones strong enough to make it through. I hear the story all the time. Some place is said to be super dangerous, and then an adventurer that's more dangerous goes there, and then and they come back.
Let us hope the spirits are as convinced. Make any preparations you wish. Crew is growing. Journey should be fast.
I'm going to check with some of the merchants for something that might be useful.
Sasha gives you a nod, and the rest of you, ready to make sail. We leave as soon as the captains are ready.
Also,
With that,
Vaden's going to check around the merchants to see if he can find any books on.
Did I get my? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Anything on like the. Basically, he wants to find something that might have information on how to handle spirit. You know, how to not, basically learn things that are like, oh, you should do this to be respectful of the spirits so they don't kill you. See if anyone
Roll investigation.
See if anyone has any, like, information that might be useful to that end. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Information on spirits, yeah.
Alright. You're heading back into Tortoise to get some books. Paul, anything from you?
I guess I'll just help the crew. Investigation.
Investigation.
Yeah, I guess I'll help the crew. Make sure set them all, get all set up.
Okay.
Okay, I've even failed in that task. I rolled a 5.
Noted. We'll get back to you. And sorry, what were you gonna ask?
Did I ever get my little dragon statue? I know that they said it was gonna take some time, but I know that we had that long-term.
Well, that was during your downtime. Although I will say, it was just little like gem statuettes, right?
Yeah, little. Well, I just need like a dragon statuette that's worth, I think, 500 gold. I did pay for it.
I paid for as well as like paintings, 4 paintings.
Yeah, and 1 painting of a dragon. At least.
They paid for 4.
I know, I paid for 4.
It was like 4. It was 4 of them, I think.
I thought they were like consumed or something.
Yeah, because I have it written down like exactly what the paintings ended up looking like for when they eventually arrive. Okay. Yeah. I'll say you can go pick them up before you leave. And so, Paul, you board the ship with Sasha and assist the crew in getting ready for the voyage. All of the new crewmates you've accrued assist you. And Avaben and Asari, you head to town.
Finding any information.
I didn't say that. The two of you head into town and split up. Asari going to the.
I assume Avaben's friends followed him,
right? They are currently on the ship helping with the setup. Damn.
They could have saved him.
Sorry, as you break off to go fetch your completed dragon statues, Avabin, you look around, and given that this is a place of such, shortageness, books are not exactly in crazy high demand. But just as you're about to,
anything.
but just as you're about to give up the ghost, you feel a tug on your pant leg. Hi, I'm Dolly.
Hello.
What you looking for, mister?
We're going to a apparently haunted place, so I thought I should try to find maybe a book with information on how to deal with such things.
And you didn't even think to ask your favorite ghost in the world for help? Her porcelain head rotates completely around with a click.
You're a ghost?
Of course I am! You think dolls just get up and walk and talk on their own?
Would have even know of any other ways that could happen?
Roll Arcana.
Arcana. Okay. Oh god, I hope it doesn't crash.
Let me know if you need me to roll.
Okay, Arcana. Again. He's average intelligence, so he gets no assistant on this. 3.
Ah, her story lines up.
Well, I guess I'm not super well versed in the animation of inanimate objects.
Would you like to be? I have all sorts of books.
Maybe at a later date. For now, I just need information on specifically spirits.
Okie dokie. She rifles through her wagon before pulling free a dusty-looking, kind of purplish black tome with arcane writings on it, and holds it high above her head proudly. Been waiting to sell this baby for a while. If only half of these people could read. 20 gold, please.
Do you mind if I have a look at it first?
Go nuts! I warn you though, I'll be very angry if you steal it. And she holds it out to you.
I won't steal it. Raven's gonna, just kinda, give it a check and maybe, just open it to a random page and see if it seems like it makes sense.
Popping it open. It's in this kind of old runic spell text, but as a spellcaster, you can read it. And as you flick through it, it's a little old-fashioned and maybe a little out of date in some places, but it seems reliable enough. It talks about different sorts of spirits you may encounter in the wild, how to potentially deal with them should the need arise.
We're pretty magically inclined. I'm sure we know that, most spirits in this setting aren't really malicious.
Yeah, basically they're more just kind of, they're a neutral force.
So
the ones that are truly
properly.
dangerous are the just angry or demonic ones.
Yeah, if you know how to deal with them, you can get out just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So this all seems to be maybe a little... Could have used some updates, but it's at least serviceable, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. The worst you can say is that, and when I say out of date, I more mean it's the terminology's a little old-fashioned, and there's some stuff where it's now that isn't true, but a layman's knowledge can fill in the gaps.
Alright. I think this seems fair. You said 20 gold?
Yes, please!
Alright, maybe we'll give them 20 gold.
Glad to see someone in your group knows a good deal when they see it. Let me know if you need anything else, mister.
Oh, I'm sure you'll find me when I need something else.
I'm Dolly. It's what I do. Her body spins around so that her head doesn't leave
Oh wait,
you.
there is one more thing. I was wondering if I could ask you about something.
Yes. As her body spins back around to match
We did
places
get
with her
the
head.
name of the merchant we were dealing with, right?
Klevak, the ever prepared.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I know his name because it's a character I made, but I wanted to make sure Vaben heard the name.
Yes, you did. He signed it, Klevak the ever prepared, twice.
Would you happen to know anything about a merchant named Klavak?
Klavak. I've heard the name.
Will little gold help jog your memory?
It just might.
How much?
2 silver a question.
Alright, I guess for my first question then. He'll give her 2 silver. Are you kidding me, D&D Beyond? You can't seriously, like, fucking do that by yourself? I have to fucking do it? Like, come on,
Well,
they can't, like, implement a feature to be like, oh yeah, this is this many silver.
Yeah, I automatically make change. Yeah, that's fair. Although,
remove 1, add
yeah,
10, and then
minus 2. As she hands you your change, she gives you a broad smile. Your question?
What do you know about him?
That's a big question. I know he's a guy that sells stuff, like a merchant, you know?
Come on, I gave you a gold.
You get 2 silvers.
Yeah.
Alright, fine. Okay, now I gotta think of questions. What is your opinion of him? I imagine not high, but I'm sure there might be some information in there.
In truth, I don't exactly think that much about him. I think my stuff's better than his. But, let me see. Last time he and I crossed paths, we, shall we say, had a professional conflict, but we resolved it like grown-up business people. Frankly, I think he's cheating. I get all of my wares fair and square. He just goes out into the forest and comes back with a bunch of stuff.
That's not fair.
Of course it's not fair. Would you think it was fair if you asked me for something and then I just went out into the forest and then suddenly had it and sold it to someone else? No, no, no. That wouldn't be fair at all.
So, yeah, was that the first 2 silver he gave her that got that question, or was it?
You've asked her, what do you know of him? To which she said, he's a merchant. And you said, what is your opinion? Which she said, they're business rivals, but she is kind of indifferent to him otherwise.
Okay. Do you know anything of his general reputation?
Depends on who you ask. Around here, he's not exactly popular, but neither are you guys, so take that as you will. People outside the island tend to like him, though. Although, he's not what you would call socially adept. Somebody made charisma their dump stat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'd imagine if he spends a lot of time in the forest by himself, he wouldn't be very good at that, would he?
Mm-hmm. Tends to get sidetracked, talk about himself a lot. Tends to get on people's nerves, you know? Nearly got chased out of here whenever he was here. That's why Dolly is now the best merchant in Tortage. She gives a little spin and dance of her body. Any other questions?
I think that's everything I need to know. You think? Oh, one more thing. You think would be prone to doing stupid and/or crazy things for no reason?
She pulls 2 silver out of her pocket and flings them at you. Not like disrespectfully, more just like tosses them to you. That one, I'll give you for free. Absolutely, positively, no question, yes.
Oh, good to know to look out for that one.
Mm-hmm. He's probably already dead, wherever he is.
Yeah, considering it has suicide in the name.
You're going to the Hollow? The rumors are true! That's so fun! Can I have the stuff on your body?
Well, I plan to keep it, so... We'll
How
see.
selfish of you.
I don't have any intention of dying, despite what its name may be.
Hey! Neither did I.
Why did you go there?
No. But, I don't know a lot of people who are just like, I'm gonna die today, and then die. Things tend to happen. Things get in the way. Things don't go according to plan. You know how it is.
To be fair, some people do. I mean, that's where the word suicide comes from.
Well, then you're well on your way. I'm definitely taking the suited guy stuff, though. I bet I could sell that bucket for at least a platinum.
I don't know. From what I understand, it may not even be a safe place for spirits.
Oh, I think spirits are one of the only things that are safe there. Well, aside from the other things, but you'll figure it out.
Do you know anything about it?
Maybe. How much more silver you got?
Let's see, they gave me 2 back, right?
Yeah, because they decided to answer the is Klavak potentially suicidally stupid free.
Yeah, you had three. You answered 3 questions.
I have 6.
You've used 6 silver so far.
I have 3 questions? Hold on, that doesn't add up.
You've asked a total of 4 questions, but I already minus.
You didn't
1.
pay for one, so you pay.
Oh,
You've used.
okay, I think
yeah.
I might have... Okay, I see. I must have already added the 2 back. Okay, I have 4 silver left, but I do have some...
That means 2 questions.
What do you know of this place? Other than the obvious.
She pauses for a moment,
I'll pay
and
you 2 gold for each answer, since that
Done!
seems to be how you want to operate. I meant 2 silver.
Well, and she takes 2 silver. In truth, I personally don't know much, but there is somebody who does.
Who might that be?
Captain Bobathon. He's the only person who's ever sailed there and lived to tell about it.
Where might he be?
I don't know. He kind of disappeared after his wife died. Got all depressed and shit. Or, was it his wife? Ah, some girl.
Was he here?
Oh yeah, he comes through here all the time. I think I just saw him the other day, actually.
Okay, hold on. I gotta take another one off because that was a question. And then I gotta take another one off for this next question. Where did you see him?
He lives on the west side of town. No, east. And she corrects her body to be pointing east. Out that way, in the Thieves Guild area. Lives in this shitty house near the gate.
Alright. I guess I'll have a look.
Sure thing. Oh, and I'm gonna save you a little bit of time. You might want to ask Paul about it first.
Why do you say that?
You'll see.
Alright. Does she mean like about where he's going?
Basically about this guy and anything useful he might know.
Alright. I guess Avaven will find Paul then.
Alright. Asari, Avaven, the 2 of you return to the docks from your shopping trip. At this point, it's about, getting into early afternoon. The Breaker and its crew are mostly having gathered their things. They looked like they were already like prepping the ship for a potential trip. Anyway, having gotten word from Anna that they were expecting word from the merchant soon. And Paul, you're helping Avaben's two friends, well, friend and quote-unquote friend, load up some of the cargo onto the deck of the ship whenever your two party members return. Hey, Avaben, get what you need?
Well, I got a book about spirits, and I've learned of someone who's actually been there and returned. What was their name again, Matthew?
Roll history.
Fuck!
I saw that coming.
I can't. Come on, a Vaben in character would have a better memory than I do.
Why don't you?
I mean, that's
Like, it happened the exact same amount of time ago.
to be fair, I have like the shittiest ass memory, and I don't exactly have like a way to take notes. So
Like, sometimes Matthew, information just goes in one of my ears and goes out the other sometimes. It just happens randomly.
yeah,
It's
you just
called
don't
being
internalize
ADHD.
it. Yeah.
Fine. You're getting out this time, but if you think something might be important, keep track. Captain Boathoun.
Okay, I see what the problem was. What exactly is that? Boathum? Boathou?
Boathoun. Thown.
Can you spell it in chat?
Of course.
Can you use it in a sentence? Okay, Boathoun. Apparently someone known as Captain Boathoun. I learned it from Dolly. It cost me a little bit of silver, and she says apparently you know something about this, Paul.
Do I know something about this? Because I'll be honest, this name doesn't ring any bells.
Roll history.
Nobody can remember their shit.
That actually makes it's really funny. Like, no, obviously, no, our audience might know, and like, I of course know. It'll be really funny because it makes perfect sense in character.
Yeah. Sounds like it's been a while. 16.
That name does ring a bell. Remember, Sasha is the acting captain of the Breaker. Captain Thown is your real captain, who stays drunk in the cargo hold and barely comes up.
Yeah.
Does Paul share this information?
I think he's probably trying to think of a way to phrase it.
Or is
Yeah,
it-
and I'll say, Paul, speaking out of character, do you recall him now that I've described him?
Yeah, I do vaguely recall him. He was there for like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, acting captain. Or either that, or he was just mentioned vaguely, like, but well, I guess good news for you. You don't really have to go very far. Well, actually, I guess I'll ask the crew. Is he on the ship?
The first mate, Reznov, looks up, and their brow kind of furrows, and was earlier. Ran to house after hearing of destination.
Yeah, I think I know why. According to Dolly, he's been there.
Lives on east side of town. Territory is controlled by the Thieves Guild.
That may be proven.
Well, then I guess I need to go see if I can't get anything out of him. If he has been there and can tell us anything about it, it could, especially importantly, how he managed to not die, Might put this crew's minds at ease.
Mm.
If our hopes of survival are with the captain, we're definitely screwed. Also, sorry, go ahead.
She was just gonna say to Vaben, I'm not exactly sure you should be going alone. We're not exactly, the Thieves Guild are not our biggest fans.
Well, I mean,
Did we do something to piss off the Thieves Guild?
A lot of things, actually.
Okay, I guess I need to roll history because I don't remember how we pissed them off.
Yes, roll history.
History 12.
Noted, we'll come back to you. Paul?
I mean, just be careful. But I mean, if you want company, I don't mind being there.
As someone who knows the man, suggestion, bring drinks.
You know what its favorite is?
He thinks for a second and I will grab from the hold. We'll return. Stay put. And he disappears down into the breaker's cargo hold to find this odd drink, leaving the three of you with relative privacy for a moment.
Paul, we were having a part of our game. Going to really look about you.
Your mic is muffled. I think something's covering it.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry. Hello?
Hello.
A little better.
She was just saying, the party is not complete without him. Paul, I mean.
Paul, are you willing to accompany the party?
I mean, he had no objections. It's just he had no objections.
Okay. After a moment, the first mate returns with an odd-looking drink in tow. The drink is a kind of off-white, thick, almost curdled-looking liquor. And as he holds the bottle by the neck out to you, Avaben, you get a look at the label on it, which I'm gonna just go ahead and jump the gun and say you and Asari both either laugh or smile at the name Pusey.
Does that mean something?
I will say, Asari, you know this just immediately off the top of your head. Avaben, I'll let you decide based on what I described to Asari if Avaben knows of it. This is a Britannian type of alcohol. It is made by mixing eggnog and using either wine or ale to curdle it.
Does it sound like she likes it? Like, what is it, like chunky or is it just creamy?
It's creamy.
Alright, I say that she likes it, so she'll be like, it's got good taste.
Give this to him. We'll make him talk. No promises that he will accompany or provide anything useful.
I mean, all we need is information.
The three of you, with this cutely named alcohol in tow, begin making your way back into town. Vaben, following Dolly's instructions, you lead the party to the east side, where so far very few of you have ever. You've mostly stayed in the central area that's owned by the slavers. The western, which is controlled by the mafia, and the eastern, controlled by the Thieves Guild, you guys have largely been staying out of. You make your way to Eastern Tortage.
Also, did Avaven remember anything about why the Thieves Guild are pissed off with us?
Yes, thank you. I will say, yeah, it kind of occurs to you while you're on the way there. They were sponsoring one of the fights back in London. Double checking which one it was in particular, but given that you guys came away the champions, at least by default, you can imagine they're not exactly thrilled about that. And you know that given that Greylaw is now in indirect cahoots with the slavers, they are also, and especially given that you guys are allied with the pirates and at least doing dealings with the slavers, they are the one business and tortage that has been left out of your dealings. Also, a fair reason they might be kind of ticked at you.
Well, Raven's like, well, just make sure to hold on to your coin purses.
Not sure if there's oh.
I mean, we'll keep an eye out for any shadiness while he's leading the party.
Roll perception.
Perception, I don't know what dice to go with. They've both been fucking me.
Yeah, sometimes that's just them's the
My
breaks.
first dice rolled good for like the first 2 rolls, and then just decided, nah.
How's the dice deal?
By the way, is it, are we in sunlight?
Yes.
So I gotta roll disadvantage? Okay.
Yes, you do.
Alright,
And
this
also,
would be a 19.
all right, no.
7
Also,
plus
2
12.
brief things. All right, 2 brief things. Just one. In case you all don't have it noted already, because you've had time, you do all have an inspiration point for this chapter. And I will say, because of the nature of this campaign, I can't provide it here. But like, just credit for where it's due. You deserve inspiration for that.
Inspiration for what?
For just pointing out, like, because I would have totally forgotten that and not called you on it.
Oh, wow.
Avaben, squinting against the harsh sunlight, you lead the party towards the east side of town. Before you get a
May I
chance to
have a plus
really...
12?
Before you get a chance to really take in a lot of the sights as best you can, the 3 of you have your progress briefly halted by a small, kind of relatively old-looking human man stepping into your path. His face is wrinkled, his bald head covered by a bandana, dressed in these dull kind of greens and browns. Initially, you think he might be a beggar of some kind, but as he steps in your way, you can see Avaben, what you had initially taken for a walking stick, is tipped with the point of a spear. Although he doesn't level it at you.
He's gonna kind of place his hand on the pistol.
The old man holds up a hand and gives you a several teeth missing smile. Now, no need for such rash action. Welcome to the east side, territory of the guild. You're free to go as long as you pay the toll. And he holds out a hand.
How much?
He kind of clocks each of you, and I think 1 gold a head is more than fair.
How many heads do we have again? Let's see, we
3.
have... Okay. Very well. I'll hand him 3 gold.
Now that wasn't so bad, was it? You're free to go. And he steps aside.
Now, just to be sure, does that mean we're not going to have anyone try to steal a little more off of us?
You have the word of Mr. Jerkins that none of his agents will assail you in any way. We cannot speak for those freeloading mafia folk, but on our honor as thieves, you will have no trouble here. As long as you stay out of trouble yourself.
Very well.
Looking around as you cross the gate into the east side, you see Dolly wasn't kidding. This is the slums. The thieves used to be a great power in these parts, but They've had a long-standing rivalry with the Campan family mafia on the west side, which has prevented them from getting a firm grip on Tortage. On top of that, their refusal to cooperate with the slavers, as that violates their code, means they can't control the center of town. As a result, Central Tortage, as you guys well know, living there is a constant host to gang fights. And you all had heard rumors while staying in Plundon that the pirates and the Thieves Guild haven't gotten along very well after an incident between Brother Ares and the Perusian branch of the Thieves Guild. As a result, the guild has clearly fallen on hard times. This part of town is poor. There's not that many people living here. What few people there are destitute and living here simply out of either stubborn refusal to live under the rule of slavers, pirates, or gangsters, or simply because the thieves might not even be letting them leave. But eventually, Avaben, based on the directions Dolly gave you, a shitty-looking house on the opposite end of the gate, you see it. Paul and Asari, you see Avaben stop and follow his gaze. On the other side of the gate that separates Thieves Guild territory from that of the slavers, you see a small, destitute shack hidden in the shadows of the gate. You would never see this on your own if you weren't looking for it. Even if you were passing on the opposite side, you might just pass it by. However, Avaben, as you squint in the sun, you can see smoke coming out of the chimney. Someone is definitely inside. There are no windows. You cannot see in. It appears to be a very small, simple, two-room cabin.
Interesting. Let's go have a look.
Avaben, as you approach, the door appears to be locked.
He'll knock.
Silence. No response. Although smoke continues to come out of the chimney, there's definitely someone inside. And given
I don't want to say it wrong, so I'll just be like, "We've got your favorite drink."
After a moment, you hear a lock being jimmied with, and the door opens. Because for Paul, it's been a while. Sorry, you haven't seen this character at all. And Avaben, while you in character have never seen him, and I doubt you out of character remember him very well, you all meet the person who, on paper, has been your captain during all of these previous voyages. Simply hiding in the cargo hold, nursing his sorrow and drink. You see a dark-skinned human man. Very amazing starch white mutton chop and mustache combo. Definitely, at least at one point in his life, cut a powerful figure. The right side of the mutton chop mustache combo, however, is shaven down to a rough surface. His eyes are yellowed, almost gangrenous. And he is not wearing a shirt, which does betray he has a very muscular physique. And very simple dark green camouflage pants. And a beret upon his head. Asari, you notice that he is getting around in a red and white wheelchair. With some odd-looking tubes on the side. You don't know what purpose these would serve.
Do you mind if we come in and have some drinks? We've got some questions for you.
He simply stares for a moment. His eyes glance down to the bottle.
Yeah, I'll gesture at the bottle that Ivan has.
Guess the Avaben will say, "How about a drink?"
Very well. He turns and wheels back inside and leaves the door open, allowing you entry.
Again.
As the three of you enter, you see this is a sorry-looking shack. There's no lights on. What little light there is just coming down from the chimney, and even then it's dimmed by the smoke from the fire in the fireplace. The flickering fire and brief glimpses of sunlight are the only light in here. There's a door on the other side of the one you just entered, although you cannot see what's behind it. In this room itself is a very humble table with 2 chairs and small treasure chest, contents unknown, next to the fireplace. There are paintings or portraits on the mantle, but they have all been turned around and hidden from view.
Hmm.
He holds out his hand expectantly for your drink, Avaben.
I'll hand him the bottle.
What business you may have with me, make it quick. And he immediately starts just
Oh,
going to town on the bottle.
just
Let's
for
talk.
one. How much do you know of what your crew has been hired to do for us?
I know everything a captain should be expected to know. We journey looking for the treasures of the gods. Take them from under their very noses. Take them to the door. Door leads to the next treasure. It's rather quite simple, really. Back in my day, I wouldn't have gotten it done twice as fast.
Well,
Sure.
the
Okay,
next...
but sorry.
Sorry. The next item appears to be... Well, it's in the position of someone who's found themselves in an unfortunate place. And a certain dolly indicates you might know something about it.
That accursed creature doesn't know what she speaks of. I know nothing of the hollow or anything on it.
And a
Really?
Raven insight.
Roll insight.
Because
Alright, here's hoping the game don't crash because I'm out tabbing in the middle of the AI's turn.
I mean, have I?
Again, you're a little muffled and glitchy. Sorry.
Give myself that
Sorry,
inspiration you gave me.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can I recall his tales? Can I recall like anything I might have heard about like how he was before everything?
Roll history.
I don't think we ever talked about it.
Well, yeah, but she knows his
Oh,
name, so let's see if she can
oh.
recognize something based on that.
Matthew.
Who's the
Yes.
So you said we started with an inspiration, right?
Yeah, because of the way this
Ooh,
campaign
And then
works.
you gave me
Let
one,
me-
right?
They do not stack.
Can
I have to reroll
Come
for using
on.
inspiration.
I rolled like shit twice.
So did I.
Come on. Come on.
I got a 14.
All right, 14 history of Aben. Of Aben.
It sounds like it's bad.
Also, even if I did give you inspiration, you couldn't reuse it here anyway.
You can't?
No, it just gives you advantage, and advantage doesn't stack.
Technically, yeah. But I think it was like one time we talked about it being like similar to Lucky.
Well, regardless, you're not getting another inspiration point. What'd you get?
7.
Avaben, you don't necessarily think he's lying, but you do get the impression he's hiding something. Sorry, what'd you get
I
again?
think
Sorry?
it was that obvious that even that
Um,
found it.
14. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're fine. You have heard stories. Boathoun was a relatively famous artificer back in the day. He was a powerful adventurer, went on many quests along with his partner, but after an accident which resulted in the disappearance and or death of his partner, he disappeared as well. Nobody ever saw him again. Frankly, you're surprised that he's here of all places.
She's just gonna kind of cross her knees and just kind of lean forward. really, because I've heard some amazing stories about you. It kind of strikes me odd that you'd never go somewhere so dangerous. Look at you, quite adventurer like yourself. Please.
Do I look like an adventurer to you?
Well, I mean, you look strong and capable.
I'm not the man you seem to have mistaken me for.
Maybe not anymore.
Look, your crew, you're a captain, right? Captain's supposed to look out for their crews, right? Your crew's about to sail near that place, and the people you're hired to help are about to go there. If there's anything you know about it, anything you're hiding, you need to tell us.
And
It could mean a big difference for your crew and your ship.
someone
You're cutting out.
You're distant and whatever you're. I guess you're moving around. You gotta like stay near the mic.
So, my headphones went out. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. So what's up?
I was just saying, oh, fuck.
All right, we'll circle back to you. Real quick before I ask anything of Aben, Paul, anything from you?
I see. I'll let them talk. See what...
I remember.
Okay, go. Sorry.
I was gonna say, and anyway, don't you think it's time that someone knew?
Aben, roll persuasion at disadvantage.
Are you
kidding me? I'm sorry!
You said that to a man who's drowning his grief in alcohol! What were you thinking?
Can I even try to like salvage the situation?
Yeah, sure, I'll let you try.
People's like, don't listen to her. She means well, but she doesn't know. She misspoke. Look, it's just look. Your crew again is about to go there, and you know, I'd like to think your crew likes us well enough. So maybe you want to help us too. Anything you know, anything you may be hiding, will be
Fucker.
most appreciated.
Roll persuasion flat.
Okay. Persuasion flat. I'm pretty sure I'm like... I don't have a plus to that because I'm pretty sure that's charisma, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You roll
Fuck.
I'm just gonna.
15?
He sighs and kind of lets the cork of the alcohol bottle fall to the side as he stares grimly at the like third of it that remains. That island is an accursed place. A great beast haunts it. Always has. Or at least as long as I can remember. Our mutual acquaintance, Brother Cancer of the Brethren of the Coast. Did you ever wonder how someone so young got to hold such a title?
Did Abatement hear how that came to be, or anything about it?
Roll history.
History. I don't have a plus to that. 14?
You heard essentially, to think of it as like the version of the story that kind of everyone knows, that she, as a young girl, while living on the Peruvian coast, murdered the previous holder of her title in a mugging gone wrong, not even realizing who he was or the significance of what she had done. And after that, she held the title. and he simply bled to death in the street.
From what I understand, didn't she just, stabbing motion?
Quite. But that's the thing about legends. They never tend to die, or at least stay dead. They called him the Crimson Raider back when he sailed. One of the most feared pirates in the seas. They say that he was too evil for hell, but by no means good enough for heaven. The gods told him that if he wanted redemption, he had to make sure his treasure was left in the hands of someone worthy. But every time he tries, the treasure corrupts. He has to get it back. And every time he fails, he gets stronger, more powerful, more sinister. Suicide Hollow is his haunt, where he hides his treasure. If you mean sail there, that means the gods have decided that he makes a good protector for one of their own treasures, hidden it among that treasure trove of gold and jewels, which he will defend even beyond the grave. He's so paranoid now that any ship who sails near, he brings down. And the souls of those sailors haunt the island forevermore, always trying to find their way to the treasure they wanted to seek. It's a sailor's superstition to be true, but one deserved nonetheless. If you set a course for Suicide Hollow with intent, your ship will not reach the island. It can't be done. I refuse to captain a hopeless voyage. And that is why I'm here.
To be fair, they're not sailing to it, they're just sailing to a patch of water within sight of it.
Do you think ghosts give a god's damned about technicalities, boy?
And we're not after his treasure, we're just after someone who's also, unfortunately, found themselves there.
So, you will consider the journey perfectly acceptable if you leave the island not a penny richer than when you went there. No treasure, no key, just the life of a man you saved out of the kindness of your heart.
I guess it depends on your definition of treasure, but the treasure I mean, merely the item that the man who got lost there came with. Other than that, I have no concerns of anything that may be found on the island.
Yeah, I'm not in a hurry to steal a cursed man's cursed treasure.
He shakes his head and takes another swig of the drink. The island has been untouched, utterly unreachable by anyone. There are things living there. Beasts, carnivorous plants, monsters.
Many of them look like shadows.
Shadows.
Yeah, and the message we got from the merchant who's crashed there, he describes some kind of shadow following him. In fact, he's refused to leave the island until that situation is dealt with, afraid he may lead something to endanger others.
This actually gets his attention. He stares at you, seemingly kind of focused for the first time, really, in the conversation. No. I've been to that island. I've never seen anything like it.
Could it be
Perhaps the
something
man is
else?
simply delusional.
Or maybe something outside the island followed him.
Nothing makes it to that island alive. And certainly what does never leaves it.
Maybe it's the item itself that we're looking.
I guess we'll have to figure that one out whenever we get there. So you say if we go to the island with no intent of taking the treasure on it, it shouldn't go after us?
Yes, if some miracle you manage to achieve those conditions, you should be fine.
You know of any ways or have any suggestions of how to make that clear?
When I first sailed to that island, I sailed because I wanted nothing more than to explore it. Nobody had done it before. I wanted her and me to be the first. So we sailed.
I've been talking and I thought I was not muted. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
She just says her. Her who?
He takes another swig of his drink. Paul, although you don't have to speak up, more basically for your reminding and for out of character knowledge, he spoke to you and Flower and Fall of a wife he had had before on their final adventure together. She was cursed by the plague doctor, fell ill and died during a tragically fated voyage to the crumbling castle. As soon as the island came within range of our spyglass, we came under attack. Ghosts of sailors past assailed our vessel. They took the crew, sank the ship. Her and I drifted. By pure miracle, we happened upon the shores. Our intentions were pure, and so we were spared, but no others.
The crew wanted the treasure on the island.
He just gives a nod. Her and I found a trove of ships that met a similar fate. We found one in good enough condition and managed to sail it out, but not before we got a glimpse of that monster. What the Crimson Raider has become. The man is a giant who heaves stones like daggers. We barely escaped him. Our ship was in tatters by the time we pulled back into the nearest port and vowed never to return.
Oh. What would it take? I'm sure your crew are going to need someone to try and keep them on the straight path. Seeing their captain
not-
back on their feet might inspire them enough.
Blows a breath which bristles his mustache. I inspire nothing but pity. And besides the point, it's not the crew for whose lives I fear.
Us.
Like it or not, it's treasure you're after. You can claim a generous spirit all you want, but you would care not for the plight of this man you've never met if he didn't have something to offer you. Of that, I'm certain.
Well,
I guess we're gonna have to find a way to make that our goal.
I mean, I wouldn't be too certain. I mean, well, yes, the item has given us attention to this item, and I might have overlooked his life to further this goal more, but definitely would prefer to save this man's life if I can. If it came over to the treasure in his life, I would pick his.
As long, I think that's a fair statement. After all we need to do is prevent it from falling into the wrong people's hands. If it gets lost on Suicide Island, so be it. At least those people won't get it.
At this, he seems almost incredulous. He stares silently for a long moment. And here I thought all good of the world died with her. Well, if you make sail for Suicide Hollow, you do it alone.
Understandable. We merely came here for information. At least that's the idea I got.
Yeah, we're not gonna force you to do anything you don't want to do. Especially after what you've gone through.
I guess ultimately we can't force you to go. It is your ship after all. We piss you off, then we don't have a ship anymore.
Take the ship and the crew. Just leave me to my suffering.
Oh. Very well then, if that's what you wish to do. If in the astronomical off chance you change your mind, I'm sure you can catch us before we head out.
He doesn't respond, just stares into the fire and looks between the burning embers and the last drink of alcohol he has left.
And you say that you say you don't inspire many good things, but from what I understand, people like a story of someone clawing their way back. I believe humans enjoy stories like that.
He doesn't respond, but you see his gaze drift away from alcohol and towards the fire and lock on it without leaving. Is there anything else you all wish to do?
I got
me
my
is it out of curiosity?
What's that, sorry?
What time of day is it out of curiosity?
It's about mid-afternoon now.
Did I get my drawings and my statues?
Yes. Well, you didn't get your paintings yet, but you do have your statues.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to do without.
How long are they?
Wait, how long? Like, how long until they get here?
Yeah.
The artists that she commissioned said that with the since you made some addendums to the original request you had made, they should be arriving in a couple months.
Yeah. Let's just go without. I can at least have the statue, and that will help.
Okay. Do you have any business in Tortage, or are you guys just going to head to the breaker and set sail?
Well, Vero wants to head there, but he wants to suggest that maybe they go in the morning, just to make sure everyone is certain they're ready to go and make whatever peace they feel they need to make.
Is that good with the rest of you?
Yeah. I need to do. So yeah.
They will inform them of the very important information that if you're gonna go near there, you need to make sure you don't have any, I guess, any.
Impure intentions.
Yeah, we'll just say that. The captain says if you're pure of heart, it gives you your best chance of surviving being near it.
The crew mostly seem fine with that condition, although they note that quite a few of them that they don't even want to go there at all, let alone for the treasure. So they're pretty sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, so I'm sure this crew will be perfectly fine. You want to get in and get out. You have no intention of going to the island. Just make sure you don't let your minds wander. Just to be safe.
The crew gives their agreement and finish preparations before bunking down for the night, prepared to make sail in the morning.
Maybe we'll spend the time reading that book. Maybe having you all and Ollie with them so that they can also have some of the information.
Okay.
The more the merrier.
Staying in the rooms provided for you by Greylog at the Helligood Tavern, you bunk with your elvish compatriots and study up on spirits. Paul, sorry, anything noteworthy, or are you just gonna long rest it up and then get ready to make sail for the island?
I did want to do one thing, so just come back to me.
Okay. Paul, anything from you?
Nope.
Alright, sorry, back to you.
So did you say that there was like a temple of some kind here?
There's a couple, but they're in very, very big disrepair.
Mm.
Not exactly a place where you're making peace with your gods here.
No, I'm more looking for like a spellcaster that might have the spell sending.
Flower and Fall have spoken of a wizard who has access to a lot of spells here. Goes by
Okay.
Magar.
Oh, okay. I'll ask them where I can find him.
All right. I will say, basically, so I know if we need to do it, play it out or not, what are you asking them to send?
I just basically want to have Azari tell her mom that she's like going on a dangerous adventure and that she's thinking of her mom, and that sometime soon she'll come back to visit, and that she loves her very much, but that's about it.
Okay. You all get a long rest. The morning comes. You all make the best of the circumstances that you can. Avaben, you reassure the crew. Do not let your minds wander. Keep your thoughts only on safe entrance and exit of the island. A greedy stray thought could doom us all. Paul, you ready yourself and you train. Sorry, asking Flower and Fall for the back alley entrance of the wizard's storeroom. You request that Magar on your behalf message your mother, assuring her of your love, and that with luck and the gods on your side, you may return safely. It'll be 90 gold for his services.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I understand, for most people, that's pretty much unaffordable.
Well, for most people, sending is an undoable spell.
Yeah.
I just don't have it. Public now.
But for adventurers, that's doable.
Yeah.
Sorry, can't do it. So,
You all make your way to the breaker, and the crew and your crew of companions is already assembled. Sasha wasn't kidding. You guys have accrued quite the bunch of oddballs during your travels.
What is
You
everybody
see-
coming?
Well, yeah. A, it is one of the most dangerous voyages, and B, most of the people have been going on all the voyages, and I'm just paying attention to it because of how dangerous this one is. There's 9 mercenaries that Brother Cancer hired on your behalf. Blue Moon, the Assassin, Kodal, the disguised demigod, Anna Kemri, of course, textbooks in hand, excited to see this place that's gone sight unseen. You all and Ollie prepared to make Avaben socialize or be damn trying. Nitro and his brother Nos. Eldar and his young grandson. The Terrafang triplets, Paul, you note with some surprise, have offered their services to help crew the ship. And you see a couple unfamiliar faces, likely just new crew that's been hired, because A, you guys have helped this crew pull in some profit, and B, Sasha outright said that if you guys want to get there, A, fast, and B, alive, you're going to need some of the best crew you can get. You all climb aboard, and unlike the previous voyages where there was an air of excitement and trepidation for the coming adventure, you haven't seen the crew this quiet in your entire time sailing with them. Ordinarily, even when sailing into the Levantine hurricane, they were just thrilled for the adventure and determined to get you there alive and get paid. It's now somber. Like they all know they're expecting to die. Sasha puts his hands on the wheel and gives the somber order to make sail. The crew flinches, like they just heard the announcement of their own death. And the ship begins to move. As you all make sail for Suicide Hollow. Is there anything you guys would like to do during the voyage?
Nothing comes to mind.
Avaven is going to talk to Ollie and you all, and basically, I'm going to say that they would probably notice that he is probably the most troubled they've ever seen him, as he asked them to please not come to this dangerous island with him.
The two of them look to each other, and Ollie is the one to speak up first. Ave, we've heard the crew talk. We're not letting you do this alone. Besides, we're not in this for treasure. We're probably in less danger than you are, honestly. And, well, what does that make us if we abandon you to this? Are we any better than this ship's supposed captain who couldn't even be bothered to come along?
It just worries me a lot.
I know you're worried, Ave, but
I mean, damn it, you all, you got hit one time and you were knocked out.
I'm sure ghosts hit a lot less hard than prison ward. That's beside the point. Would you rather I just stay in the forest and worry instead?
Well, at least I've done stuff like this before.
So have I. I went into the Underdark alone to find you.
Yes, and you wound up in a prison waiting for God knows what.
I survived.
I mean, after I showed up.
He just stares at you flatly, and Ollie kind of rolls her eyes and elbows you. What's done is done, Avaben. We're going to do whether you like it or not. And you're just going to have to square with that. You've been wandering around in your little self-imposed exile for years now. I think it's time you get over yourself and accept some help. You don't need to prove anything to us. And I didn't think I needed to prove anything to you.
Oh gods, I mean, the forest is different. We know that danger.
These people have gotten you through hurricanes. They know the sea like the back of their freckled little hands. Paul, are you doing anything? All right. There's a tense and somber voyage. Dinners with the crew are quiet, and while the companions you've accrued attempt to strike up conversation, ignorant or deliberately being oblivious to the danger, it does little to soothe the racked with worry sailors. Eventually, you're 3 weeks out when the call comes down. Paul, as you're knowing you, helping swab the deck. Avaben, your usual position is lookout, if I recall, and Asari helping Anna go over notes, seeing if there's anything useful you can pick up on Suicide Hollow.
Mm-hmm.
What did Avaven learn about ghosts reading the book? Like, did he learn anything that might be helpful?
Because not all of the information is going to be pertinent here, I'm not going to cover it all at once. Instead, if you attempt to do history checks on the spirits of the island, I will give you advantage.
Okay.
The call comes down from the Wood Elf lookout. Lando! The hollow's in sight!
Dang, you could see an island 3 weeks away from it?
I think we traveled for 3 weeks.
Yeah, like you've been traveling for near of a month, and bear in mind you're on a pretty fast ship with a more than efficient
I
crew
thought you
now.
said like 3 weeks out.
Mhm. Sasha goes to give the order to drop anchor. However, Avaben, you spot something, albeit squinting against the beaming sunlight, that the lookout in his focus on the island has missed. There's another ship making its way towards you.
Oh. Avaven's like, you might want to add ship ho to that.
Paul and Asari, you both are, like, you can't hear what Avaben's saying to the lookout, but you can hear the call-outs that happen. Good catch there, mate. Ship started, Captain! First mate! What do you see? What colors? Bretonian!
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
They're no threat to us. We passed them by.
Can I see the ship?
It's a little in the distance, but you can try and get a better look at it. Roll perception.
Okay. Are there like binoculars that I can, or like a spyglass? Like a
Not
spyglass?
You would have to have one in your inventory. There's not one just lying around.
Okay, perception. 10?
You can see it's a ship. Although you do see, yes, they are indeed flying Britannian colors.
Does it look like it's coming this way? Like it's
Yeah.
trying to catch us?
Well, I mean, the lookout said it's coming this way, but, like, yeah, I mean, like, you can't tell
Yeah.
at such a distance if it's coming with hostile intent or not, but...
I'll go up to Sasha and be like, I have this really, like, intuition, I guess, that maybe they're trying to get our attention.
This close to the hollow, there may be danger. Should we signal?
I mean, maybe it would be wise to just let them know.
He gives a nod. Swabby! We strike the colors. Signal to the passing ship. Yeah, sure, boss. What do I tell him? Sasha looks to you with a raised eyebrow. Sorry.
She just kind of like looks a little bit lost for like she has no idea. Like maybe ask them what they want. I don't fucking know. You're the one that's experienced.
Is Bretonian ship? You are Bretonian. You do not know codes?
No. Well, do I know code?
Given that you are an archaeology student and not a sailor? No.
The Raven's
Yeah,
they're just like a standard, like hey, how do you do?
Okay. Yeah. She's like, do I seem like I know codes? I'm an archaeologist, not a sailor. Just hi, I guess. See if they need anything. I don't know.
Is there like a standard, just like hello, other ship?
Yeah.
He nods to the Swabby, who nods in return and begins to signal with dark flags. In the meantime, while you await a response from the other ship, Vaven, you see the lookout is not taking his eyes off of the ship, staring intently through his spyglass.
And you tell what kind of ship it is? Isn't there like different kinds of ships?
Aye. Ship of the line. Second right, looks like. I'd clock about... Aye?
Is that a bad kind of ship to run into?
Certainly not good in our line of work. That's odd. You don't usually see them all alone like that. Britannians so protective of their ships of the line. Usually don't even have them leave the harbor if they can avoid it.
So if they have this one out here, that must mean there's a pretty big reason why.
It's Britannian waters. Probably just patrolling. Maybe they think the gunpowder will keep the ghosts away.
Hopefully they're not looking to pick a fight.
We haven't done nothing to provoke them.
Does their ship seem bigger than ours?
Yeah! Your guys are sailing in a crappy brig. They have a second-rate ship of the line. Their ship is almost 3 times the size of yours.
Yeah, Raven's like, because, I have a feeling if they want to pick a fight, that's not a fight we're going to win.
Like I said, we haven't done nothing to provoke them. We should be fine.
I have sent a message to my mom. Hello.
Better.
Hello.
Hello.
I guess I have to hold my phone like this.
Yes.
Yes.
So she's like, I kind of sent a message to my mum. So I'm just kind of wondering if, I'm just kind of questioning this boat.
Is your mom rich enough to get them to send one of their best ships?
She just kind of looks at him and like raises her eyebrows.
Yeah, I'll say the two lookouts have come down from the crow's nest and joined the rest of you at this point. Royal Navy, Sasha. 98 guns by my count.
Oh, that sounds like a lot.
More than we have.
I mean, Vaven looks to his friends. When's the last time we've seen 98 of anything?
The first mate seems like he's getting nervous, and the response, not seeing anything. There's crew aboard, but none of them's answering. Spirits.
Do you see anyone that looks like me?
Not that I can spot.
Don't ships usually like tuck their guns away whenever they're not wanting to fight? Do they have theirs out?
Aye.
Do they look like they're trying to line us up?
Not that I can tell. Although we should be out of range of the cannons. We'll know if they turn. I'll get back up to the crow's nest, keeping on their moves.
I'll be down here in case things hit the fan.
Aye.
Or in this case, cannonballs hit the mast.
I do not like this.
Matt, how fast are we going?
You're not going anywhere. They dropped anchor. They refused to take you any closer to the hollow.
Okay. I could.
I guess you just wait and see.
Could go up there
Yeah.
and ask them what's going on.
How are you going to cross ocean? I'm pretty sure your armor would make you sink.
Well, I'm not too fond of the idea, and I guess I'll get my greater steed out.
You all watch as Paul summons forth his familiar mount, although it now has taken the form of a mythic Periton.
Yeah, it's slightly smaller now.
Not a bad ride. Do you think you can get me one of those things?
Oh, they're gorgeous. Can I give stretches?
I mean, as long as he doesn't mind, I don't really see the problem, but...
I'll be like, who's a good boy? And just see if he'll let me, like, pet him.
They do. They're a little hesitant at first, but they do willingly allow pets.
Yeah, just scratches right under the chin.
Very well.
The Raven's going to be like, oh, I guess if they start acting aggressive, we can just run away from them. Come back and try again later.
Well,
You all go on.
do you want me to come with you since, you know, it's a Bretonian ship? Can I?
Well, I'm not sure if it can really handle two. Not very. With its new form, its size is kind of.
How far are they, Matthew?
They're a good distance out. They're just getting close enough to where you can start making out details. Yeah, and yes, Avaben, all three of you can see. Yeah, they do have the gun ports open, but they haven't turned to broadside yet.
Do I feel like I could maybe, I don't know, fly there?
How long can you fly? Or do you just have a flying speed?
I do have a flying speed.
Then, yeah, if you have time.
Yeah, it's just a bonus action.
Maybe we shouldn't try to approach them. They may take that as a sign of aggression.
I mean,
Mhm.
it's Onion, and I have a feeling.
But they
They're
might
not
not know that.
They're not answering signals. We cannot get message out otherwise.
Yes, and frankly, if they're hostile towards us, if they're hostile towards us, we'll find out too late, probably. So.
I mean,
Uh,
what I can, I mean, I'm not a sailor, but from what I understand, don't most ships have all their guns on their side, and so the only way they could shoot at us is if they turn side onto us.
True, but then if I'm not mistaken, we're anchors down. It's going to take us time to not only re-anchor, but also move out of the way.
And even if we try, there's nowhere to go except closer to death. And he looks to where the bow of the ship is currently pointed towards the hollow.
I'm gonna use my bonus action and summon my wings.
A pair of draconic bat-like wings stretch out from your back. Paul, do you mount your Periton?
Yeah, he'll kind of he'll get onto it and grab it real tightly,
Be safe.
Just
It do-
keep your eyes open, and I guess I'm gonna take off.
Paul?
I will join her.
Avabin, you watch as your two friends take off over the sea, bat-like and bird-like wings stretched, and begin making their way towards the enemy ship. Avabin, there's a silence before Sasha shakes his head again, and I still do not like this. Quartermaster, here's them. Load guns, but do not open ports. Lay us in irons. Sir? Do as I say. Yes, sir. And the dwarf runs back down.
If we get into a fight with that thing, what are our chances?
We would be better off sailing to island.
How long does it take for the ship to turn around since you don't want to go to that island?
Too long.
Well, like, we'd basically already be at the island by the time it started going the other way?
No. If that ship wants us dead, we would be at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh.
Let us hope your comrades are good negotiators, and that that ship is not what I think it may be.
What is that?
Paul, sorry.
Dang, that's a good one right there.
As you fly your way over the open sea, you do not come under fire. As you approach, you see the ship is indeed laid in irons and has a massive crew complement, all dressed proudly in Bretonnian colors. Asari, you see many of them are loading muskets and pistols, readying cannons, pulling on ropes. But Paul, your attention is drawn to the very topmost deck. Behind the wheel, with cutlass in hand, stands a woman. Long, beautiful red hair flowing proudly in the wind. Dressed in brilliant Bretonnian colors. And you see she has not taken her eyes off of you as the two of you approach. And you manage to hear her as she yells, her voice booming to echo throughout the ship. Not magically, just through sheer charisma. Tell the men to prepare to be boarded! Stand your ground and show no fear!
Well then.
Asari, Paul, as the two of you peel around and make to land nearby, Are you willing to board?
Yeah, I'll land. I'll do a zero thing.
Superhero landing. All right.
Yeah.
Paul.
Paul is
Really bad
probably,
for your knees.
Yeah, it is.
Paul is probably doing near the opposite of he's being. While they're showing no fear, Paul is showing fear, and as he's like desperately grabbing onto the steed.
Tiny mount.
The steed that's barely big enough for him.
Okay. Noted. Are you willing to board?
Yes, he's willing to board.
All right. Sorry, Paul. The two of you make to land. Paul gripping tightly onto your Periton, who can, just through size, barely lift you. And the two of you manage to catch the nameplate of the ship as you land on the highmost deck. The Rotterdam.
Have I heard of this name? Being
History
that.
with advantage.
All right. History.
With advantage.
All right. All right. I like
If
this.
This is a second-rate Britannian ship of the line. It is one of their pride and joys of the Navy.
21.
You have heard of this ship. The Rotterdam is captained by John Brand, otherwise known as Bowman.
Okay.
She is a brilliant captain and a famous pirate hunter.
Mm.
As the two of you land, she ascends up the stairs to meet you, cutlass back in its sheath, although her hand remains upon its hilt. The crew all have hands to trigger and cutlasses, but to her order, do not show fear and do not immediately engage. She does not say anything. Her red hair flows in the wind as this boat continues to sail towards your now distant and tiny looking by comparison breaker.
Mm-hmm. I'll just
Rotterdam dwarfs your vessel.
I'll extend my hand. Ah, you must be Joan.
She looks at your hand but does not take it. What do you want?
Well, I was actually gonna ask you the same thing. We saw you and you went answering our signal, so we just came to check and see if you were alright.
Did you signal? All I saw was the chattering of animals.
That's yeah, and I'm gonna turn to show her where the boat would be.
Well, signal or not, we merely just wish to convey that we aren't here to fight.
Oh, you're not here to fight, are you?
No, we're totally friendly.
Oh, well, I suppose it's only fair that in turn I show you what my friendliness looks like, eh?
I kind of still kind of awkwardly have my hand out like for a handshake.
Club Hall! Paul, you see them drop the anchor on one side. Avaben, you watch as the ship abruptly, sharply turns, displaying its massive broadside to the breaker. And the lookout has just enough time to call out in what is unmistakably terror. It's the Rotterdam! Open fire!
Is it time to run now?
We're already dead. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh no!
Rip,
Well done.
Rip of Avon being the only one who can't fly.
I think we also established that swimming is not a very common trait in the forest.
Nope.
Raven just looks to his two friends. Do either of you know how to swim?
You have arrived on the outskirts of Suicide Hollow, as close as your crew is willing to take you. But you have been accosted by a Britannian pirate hunter, John Bowman Brand, captainess of the Rotterdam, an infamous ship of the line that has heralded the death of countless pirates before you. And it seems, throwing in your lot with Erica and the crew of the Breaker, you are animals to her, and she is ready to put you down.
This is what happens when I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least we're on the boat, so we could do stuff.
It's like,
Yeah.
you know, in her defense, a lot of pirates are Britannian too.
And she clearly showed no mercy despite one of the people trying to negotiate her also being a proud Britannian. In case you couldn't tell, this is going to be the chapter where you and Asari's conflict over her heritage comes to a head.
Yeah. Maybe she's finally gonna realize why he dislikes them so much.
And maybe you'll realize they're different people and not all the same.
Maybe.
Check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Down for maintenance at the moment, but soon to be resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer currently in battle at sea with a pirate hunter. Check out our link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly. Support our episodes posted on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you happen to get them from. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Mondays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Odd Tornado Productions, and check out Odd Tornado Productions official on Tumblr and links to our other works, including our Paladins Twitch channel at twitch.tv/AustinFreak123. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon at that link to be posted in chat as well, on Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/Odd Tornado Productions, and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TornadoOdd, TNO capitalized, if you want to get immediate updates whenever we go live, as well as updates on all of our other projects. If you want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few, tune in tomorrow, Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on all the same channels to see our Tuesday game of Black Ink and Blue Blood, featuring a party of politicians and nobles trying to unravel a political conspiracy if they can stop stabbing each other in the back long enough. Thanks everyone at the table so much for playing. Thanks everyone at home so much for watching. And we'll see you all next week.